Hi, this week we're going to be doing a lesson about facts and opinions. A fact is a statement that can be proven to be true. There's a few different ways that you can prove a fact. You can do research, meaning you can find sources that have valid, proven information. You can conduct an experiment where you test out the fact and make sure that you get the true result. Or you can make an observation. So if you see something happen, you know that it's a fact. A blank is a statement that can be proven. Is it A, thesis, B, opinion, C, theory, or D, fact? If you're proving a fact, you need to be able to provide a source of information. You can't just say, oh, because I said so. So you can use a book, a newspaper, an interview. You can find a video of something. You can find a picture of an event. You have to make sure it's not photoshopped or messed with in any kind of way. Or you can use reputable online sources. You have to be careful when you go to the internet. We all know that there are some crazy people out there that will post things that are just not true in any way. You have to be able to know if a source is reliable or not. Not everything you read on the internet is true. And Google is not a source. Google is a search engine. A little bit more about trusted sources. Books, even though nobody likes to pick up a book anymore, there are many types of reference books, including encyclopedias and biographies that can be very helpful. Once you're doing more advanced writing, you might use something like a scholarly journal. If you were to go on and study in the medical field, doctors do research and they publish what they find in something called a scholarly journal. A trade publication has to do with a certain field or industry. So we have magazines for building trades and building services that talk about new ways that things are being done, new tools, new materials, and those are all found in trade publications. And then third, you have magazines. There's so many different types of magazines you could use. Next, we have newspapers, and although the physical newspaper is kind of dying out, we still know that people read the news and watch the news, and we want to make sure that you are getting your news from somewhere that's reliable and not all based on opinion and just what someone else thinks. And of course, last, we mentioned the internet, but it does say evaluate websites carefully. If you go to a website that is run by somebody who has an agenda or a mission, it's possible that they may not be giving you facts. Which of the following is not a good source for proving a fact? Is it A, a newspaper article, B, your diary entry, C, the results of a science experiment, or D, a biography? Here are 3 examples of facts. LeBron James was born on December 30th, 1984. We can prove that through research. In fact, we could go and read his biography. Next, the bus arrived at 5:05 p.m. yesterday. We can prove that through observation. If you see the bus arrive and you look at the clock, you can tell what time it arrived. Third, when you drop a pencil, it falls to the ground. You can prove this through experimentation. Take a pencil and drop it and see what happens. It's going to fall. Next, let's move on to opinions. An opinion is a statement that is subjective. So when we say subjective, we mean that's something that's based upon or influenced by somebody's personal feelings or tastes. So opinions can involve emotion, perspective, meaning point of view, preference, meaning what you like better, and just what you think. An opinion cannot be proven. In fact, an opinion can be argued. People have different opinions all the time. A what is a statement that is subjective? Is it A, anthology, B, analogy, C, opinion, or D, obituary. Opinion statements usually have at least one keyword to help identify them, so here are some types of keywords. You might see things that are comparing: better, worst, best. These are words that would be comparing things, but you can't prove that one thing is better than another. That's your opinion. Emotions. If you talk about something making you sad, well, maybe it only makes you sad. Maybe it doesn't make somebody else sad. That's an opinion. I statements. I think, I feel, I believe, I know. These are statements that cannot be proven. You have to be careful. These also go with dialogue in stories and in interviews. So you have to be careful, because I know an interview can be used as a source to back up a fact, but if you're only saying what somebody feels, you're really just sharing their opinion. Adjectives. These are describing words. So if I call something wonderful, amazing, terrible, that means that it's an opinion. You can't prove that. And if you have an indefinite term, a word like maybe, soon, sort of, kind of, these are indefinite, meaning you can't measure it. You can't give a definite answer. So that makes it opinion. We also have some sneakier opinion words. So sometimes at the beginning of a sentence, you'll have an introductory phrase that will begin an opinion statement. Personally, I think is an example. From my point of view is another example. Transition words are wonderful words to use in your writing. However, many times they can indicate an opinion. In fact, I just called them wonderful, which is an opinion. So if you're calling a reason for something the first reason, well, you might not even realize you just gave an opinion. Maybe somebody else wouldn't think that's the first thing. Equally as important, well, who's saying that it's equal? So these are words that you may not even realize convey an opinion. And over in this third column, we have some more descriptive words that are going to signify an opinion. So you see horrible, shocking, magnificent, advantage. These are all things that are going to give somebody's perspective, point of view, feeling, or opinion. Which of the following is not a type of clue word for opinions? A, emotions. B, degrees of comparison. C, indefinite terms. Or D, specific dates. And here we have 3 examples of opinions. The first one says, June is my favorite month of the year. Well, that's because it's a preference that it makes it an opinion. That person prefers June. Maybe you prefer January. Maybe you don't like being warm. Maybe you like cold weather. The key word in that was favorite. Romeo and Juliet is such a sad play. Well, we had emotion. That's what makes it an opinion. And the word sad was our keyword. You could have also said such was a keyword. It's better to play outside than inside. This is somebody's perspective, and we use the word better, which is a degree of comparison word. So that was the key word here. All right, so to sum that up, before we do some examples, if something is a fact, it can be proven. So here we have the example sentence, spinach is a source of iron. All right, so some clue words and phrases. If it's the truth, if it's a matter of fact, it is proven, and it might include some numbers, some measurements, or data that you could look up. If you can ask yourself these 3 things, it will be a fact. So can you check reliable sources? Can you observe it? Can you ask an expert? If yes, that's a fact. So can we look up somewhere that's reliable? Does spinach have iron in it? Can we ask a nutritionist? Can we do an experiment to prove it? Yes, all 3 of those things. On the other hand, now let's look at opinion. This says spinach tastes awful. All right, so This is an opinion because it's expressing a person's belief. All right, and here are some clue words: believe, think, feel, argue, should, must, ought to. Remember, if you say somebody should do something, that's how you feel about it. That's your point of view. And you can ask yourself, would somebody be able to disagree with that? Spinach tastes awful. Do you think there are people that might like it? Is it about an impression or a thought or a feeling? If yes, that makes it an opinion. So we are going to now do some examples. Fact or opinion. It's important to clean up after yourself when you're done using someone else's belongings. Fact or opinion. McDonald's has the best tasting milkshakes and French fries, but Burger King has the best burgers. Fact or opinion. The United States of America uses both paper bills and coins as currency. Have a great day.